Guys, welcome back to a bi-weekly live event. Thank you for being so patient. I was took a little bit longer on my inner circle call, so really thank you for being patient with me. This week we're going to be going over my historic house sale. I'm going to go over the numbers, how much I bought the property for, how much I sold it for, and how did I make $250,000 on this flip. So I'm going to go into those details, give you a breakdown of the pros and cons, and great things and issues that came up. How's everybody doing? I'm really excited to see you guys again. I apologize, I've been gone for a minute. I just had a little boy about a week ago. His name is Emmanuel. He's awesome. He's super cute. Right now he's about 8 days old. So not sleeping much, but still super excited. So I'm here for you guys. I want to answer your questions. So I hope everyone's doing well, and we're going to get into it in a minute. So how's everybody's week been? Huh? Oh, thank you guys for all those saying congratulations. Yeah, super exciting. This is baby number 4 for me. Girl, boy. You know, Emmanuel's super cute. All his brothers and sisters are really excited to have a new baby in the family, so it's going to be fun. So if you guys don't know, Emmanuel means God with us. And we're actually planning to have a Christmas baptism, so it's exciting. It's an exciting time. All right, Hannah. So what does it look like? Any questions or comments before I go into the details?
Not yet. Let's just give another 2 minutes for people to trickle in. Since we were running a little bit late, we'll give them also time to trickle in,
Yes. So
no one misses out on your special numbers.
My bad, guys. Again, I don't like being late. I really am looking forward to. Is the mic on? Yep, it's on.
Okay.
So I am looking forward to helping you guys. Again, inner circle call ran really late. A little update on what I'm doing. Obviously, I raised a fund, raised $3 million on an investment to buy a package of properties in St. Pete, Florida. We closed that fund out. It's doing really great. Bought a bunch of great properties right by where Kathy Woods is bringing her office. So upside for this community is going through the roof. We did a carbon scrubber. We did a carbon scrubber investment. And what that is basically we're investing in a natural gas well. We clean the natural gas at the well and pump carbon dioxide back in the ground, getting new carbon credits. So an investor that invests $100,000 gets $200,000 off on their taxes, which someone that's in, gets a 40% bracket, you're gonna save $80,000 just on taxes alone, ignoring the return. And the return on this one is about $40,000 a year on a $100,000 investment. Great cash flow, great ROI. But again, it's not a real estate play. There is no equity, there's no building. Great cash flow is a really great deal for the right person. So we're doing that. And that's basically done. We're almost done. I think we only have a little bit left for if someone wants to invest in that. If you guys are interested, DM me. You know, we'll see if we have any space left. But happy to help if I can.
Someone said, "Can I have your kid's placenta?" What?
No. So now, the next thing we're working on while we're doing this carbon scrubber things, we're working on a crypto mining fund. That one's going to be awesome. We'll be mining Bitcoin. Great returns, really great tax write-offs, and that should be coming, God willing, before the end of the year. But if not, we should probably be hitting it in January. We'll be up and running it and mining coins. So that's super profitable, super exciting. Looking to add a lot more Bitcoin to my portfolio. So it's just awesome all around. Great market, great margins, and adding more Bitcoin to my wallet. So how's everybody doing? This is so exciting. I'm glad to be back. You know, super late day, but I'm glad to be back. Glad to see you guys again. Glad to help you grow. So Hannah, you think we're ready to go? So
Yeah.
We can start running the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I grabbed the one. All right. So this is a historic house. So the historic house, as you guys know, was a property that I bought right when COVID hit. This is a property that is a 3,200 square foot house in a downtown Safety Harbor. Super great area, right by the water, and it needed a lot of work. So I bought this house right before, or under contract right before COVID hit, and I bought it for $289,000 purchase. So when COVID hit, what I did is I kept on holding off. So they had an issue with open permits. So because I didn't know what was going to happen with COVID, I said I wouldn't close on the property until they closed out the permits. That ended up buying me about 3 months, which got me to the middle of, about June, July. So we feel more comfortable, like, okay, COVID is here, but it's not horrible. In Florida, things were still going well. So I said, okay, I'm closing on the deal. I ended up buying it for $289,000. Initially, I was planning to put about $100,000 into the remodel. And so estimate, sloppy writing, right? But again, not an English teacher, doing math here. $100,000 on the rental. So it's gonna be in about $389 is my cost. My sale price, I was planning to sell it for, at that time I was thinking if I could get $600,000 for this property, that'd be awesome. At $600,000, your closing costs roughly, when you're selling, it's roughly about 7%. 6% realtor fees, 1% for miscellaneous. So we're looking at $42,000 in closing costs.
Is the baby monitor in here?
Yeah, baby monitor's here, guys.
Dad life.
Dad life, 100%. So, now, carrying cost for this project was supposed to last roughly 6, maybe 9 months. So 6 to 9 months on about, the loan was about $300,000. I put down $80,000 cash, so $80,000 was cash. And in this scenario, the carrying cost for about 6 to 9 months at 8% for $300,000 is $16,000. So $16,000 was the estimated interest. So we're gonna just put it in interest. So sale amount. So 389 plus 16 plus 42. That's 8, 9, 7, 7, 1, 8, 14, 1, 4. So about 400, I'm gonna erase this right here. It's gonna be confusing for people. So total cost, $447,000 was my total cost for this property. This is the estimate. And the sale was $600,000 was my estimate. So I should have made about $150,000 roughly, and it was about $80,000 cash.
Too many zeros.
Too many zeros?
On the 150.
Ooh, good call, Hannah.
There you go.
So I was gonna basically roughly triple my money, and because I was gonna get my $80,000 back plus $150,000 in profit. Along the way, my plan was, since this was a 3,200 square foot house, I was gonna get the attic zoned for living space. So I got an engineer, I went through the process, the steps. It took many months, roughly 3 to 4 months to get it through the city, and I converted the 600 square foot to living space. So it was already remodeled, didn't really do too much to the third floor, didn't find much value in that. I did put in new carpet and that was about it. But in the process of me doing that, getting 600 additional square feet, which was only putting in new carpet and maybe a little bit of lighting, that was a significant add of value, right? When prices per square foot are around 200 plus, and you can magically create 600 of additional living square footage, that's $120,000 of value, right? That's a lot of my profit margin. The 150 profit came from that alone. I did need to do a lot of other things in addition to that. Now, the reasoning how can you do that so easily, or what was my situation with that? One, I was gambling on that I could get it through. I had a very good feeling I could get it through the city. You can't always get an attic approved for living space. Do people live in attics? Yes. Can you make it livable? Yes. But does it meet the requirements of the county code to be able to count it as heated living space and be able to advertise it? Not always. For example, up north in New Jersey, a lot of people make their basements into living space, but they do not register that with the county. So you cannot list it as heated square footage when you sell it because you did not go through the proper process of converting it to living space. So when you list your home for sale, you might have an extra 1,000 square foot in the basement. You cannot list that 1,000 square foot unless you go through the process. If you go through the process, you have to pay the taxes and fees and so on. So some people don't do that. I'm willing to take that hit. I'm willing to pay those taxes and fees to do it because it's going to add so much value to my property when I sell it. So if you do it right, you do it legal, you're going to make so much money on the back end. So you have to stay focused long term. Don't get short-sighted. Now, this was the estimate pre-COVID, and you guys know COVID flipped everything upside down. So this was the estimate. So reality,
I after the L.
I after the L.
L.
I after the L.
Perfect.
There we go. Again, not an English teacher here, people. People are like trying to give me a hard time over my spelling. Again, I'm not an English teacher. English is my second language, okay? Now math, that I'll help you with, right? So the reality is, again, purchase was $289. That didn't change. But what ended up happening was a 9-month max remodel ended up taking me from July to, I sold it when? October?
Yep.
November?
October.
So it took 15 months. So now, 15 months of interest, I'm going to keep everything simple, interest. 15 months of interest end up being about, with my points and everything, I'm going to say almost $36,000 in interest for that period of time.
What's your points?
Okay, so if you guys don't know what a point is, when you get a hard money loan or even a standard loan, you can pay points up front and sometimes you have to pay points up front. So when you're getting a hard money loan, you're going to be required to pay 2 to 3 points, maybe 4 points, depending on how risky your deal is. So if your loan's $100,000, they might require you to pay 2 points up front. 2 points on $100,000 is $2,000. So if I could pay 2 points on a $300,000 loan, that means I have to pay $6,000 up front. Now, if you guys are new to the game, you're going to be short-sighted. You're like, I'll never pay someone $6,000. It's a waste of money. I'll never pay a realtor commissions to sell. I'm going to keep 3%. Guys, if you're looking at 2 to 3%, you're looking at the wrong business. If you do it right, you're going to have fat margins. Now, if you're a realtor and you're really good and you can list it, great. That's awesome. But the reality is, if you can add a realtor that's awesome at what they do, then you can make way more money by teaming up. And that's what took me from small player to big player. That's what took me from $5 million in real estate, which right now we're pushing $25 million in real estate. And by the end of next year, we're probably going to be at $125 million inside of our portfolio, if not more than that. Like, we're growing exponentially. Our returns are awesome because we team up with the right people. You want to do everything yourself? That's okay. You can be that guy. But if you want to be large and you want to have time, you have to partner with the right people. Back to it. $36,000 is the cost of doing business. It is what it is. I'd rather pay someone to borrow that money and me use that money somewhere else. So that's that. So now we got the closing costs, right? Well, the closing cost on this deal, it ended up changing. This property went from a $600,000 sale price because of the rarity of finding homes. People were not working, they were not building, everything got shut down with COVID. When we were still working, we were still doing stuff, we were able to put ourselves in a better position. So our sale went from $600,000, we ended up selling it for $860,000. And to be honest with you, if I waited a little bit longer, maybe 1 month more, I just wanted to get done with this because I got a lot of other things on my plate. But if I waited 1 month more, initially we listed it for like $999,000. We probably would have sold it for like probably at least $925,000. What happened is when I listed it in July, again, things went wrong, and they're on the news everywhere. Florida's gonna have a hurricane and it's gonna devastate Florida. And I'm like, come on, man. We have a hurricane like every week. Nothing is gonna happen, man. This thing's like, we don't get out of bed under a Cat 3, right? If it's a Cat 1 or 2, like, okay, it's a party weekend. It's not a scary thing, right? We're not leaving town. We're just buying beers and we're gonna grill out, So, it's Florida, hold my beer.
Cheers.
Or hold my White Claw.
Because
Cheers.
we're on a diet.
Yes, exactly. See, it's really a skinny can because it's skinny beer, I don't know if it works like that, right? So anyway, $860,000 when we sold it for, right? Now again, 7% is roughly the number. What about 56, 42? So it's like $60,200 was roughly the closing cost. That's what I paid in commissions. So if you see this, I paid $100,000 in interest in commissions on this deal. And again, some people are like, no, that's blah, blah, blah. I want to try to save it. Again, you could, but I'd rather do volume and I'll make way more money. Now, the remodel, the reno, is up there. The reno ended up costing me more. So the reno ended up costing me about $200,000. We gutted that house down to the studs. And if you saw the pictures, if you guys are following me daily on my story on IG, and then like on YouTube, I have videos with details of these projects before and after and explaining what I'm going to do. We gutted it to the studs. The house was already remodeled, and they did a horrible job. If that house is 100 years old and it's gone through maybe 10 remodels, the very last one was a couple years ago, really bad. Even though they put new electric and new plumbing, it was so bad, I had to literally gut all the drywall, redo all the electrical, all the plumbing, AC, putting Cat 6 wire and coax throughout behind the walls, put up cameras, insulated everything, so it's very energy efficient, new beams in the house, so it's structurally sound. And then from there, put in insulation, put the drywall back, and made it beautiful. If you guys saw the kitchen is gorgeous. The house was like all boxy. So on the first floor was like 1,600 square feet, but it was like boxy, different sections. It's like literally all boxy. We opened the whole thing up, just left the bathroom closed. So now it's 1,600 square feet for the living room, dining room, kitchen. Oh, and we did have a little close off right here for an office, so it's private and quiet. Insulated all the walls in the office, insulated the ceiling, so it's really going to be quiet. Everyone can work. Cat 6 plugins, so you can actually take your laptop, plug it directly into the internet. So if you're worried your Wi-Fi is not good, this is going to make sure that you have a strong connection. So when you're trading, Shiba, you can make sure to get your trade to go through. So now, so we did it. We brought it up. We made it gorgeous, right? I mean, the bathroom and the master bedroom, the shower had 10 water outlets, right? It was like a car wash. And it was their bathroom, the shower section of that bathroom was as big as a standard bathroom. The whole thing, sink, toilet, and tub. Imagine that whole thing is just a shower. So it was gorgeous. It was really an awesome house.
But why did the
Lifetime and Hallmark both wanted to film in that house. And then at the end, when I was about to sell, I was like, you know what? No, I'm too busy, whatever. So
the reno, why did it go up to 200,000?
So one, the price of wood went from $3.80 for a 2x4 to $11. Now, luckily, we bought most of our wood before that happened. Then the cost of everything, because things got worse and worse behind the wall. So, and then also, I saw the quality of the neighborhood was getting significantly better, and the type of people that are going to live here have money. So I thought an extra $5,000 here, $5,000 here, $5,000 there is going to make the homeowner extremely happy. You have to understand that people that have money, they can spend it if you give them quality. So by me having Cat 6 and coax in every single room and behind the TVs built in, that's an extremely high value for them.
Trill Neil had a comment. I think he knows you. Or she.
The molecules don't expand that way. You have to divide. Remember what Miss Stacy said, Corcus? I don't know.
Middle school teacher, high school teacher?
Yeah, molecules don't expand that way.
You're talking about what you're talking about. Just whatever.
Anyway.
There's a shout out to an old schoolmate.
So, the point is that you have to provide value for your consumer. Whatever your client wants, give it to them and they'll pay for it. Don't give them something that they don't want. I spent $15,000. Okay, here. I spent $15,000 into this budget because the front of the house was bland, and this is supposed to be like a historic, coastal, southern home. It needs a grand front porch. So if you guys saw, I did a 40 by, I think, 15 or 40 by 10 front porch with a metal roof. That cost $15,000, but it made the house so grand. It was like, wow, this looks amazing. So when you do that, you put in that quality, you do those things, it costs money, right? So made it significantly better, added the wow factor, and added better, higher quality items. The AC, I wasn't planning to change one of the ACs. It was just so bad that I had to change the AC. The walls were so off and skewed that it cost significantly more to address that and then to put up the drywall to make it straight. So all those things cost money and added and added and added. So anyway, $200,000, right? 0, 0, 2, 5, 1, 8. So that doesn't sound right. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Does not sound right. So 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That sounds about right. So so you can see here we made over $200,000. So this is upside down. Give or take the rental could have been $250. Exactly, I don't remember. It's been over a year and a half. But we did between, let's just say, 235 to 285,000 in profit on this deal. So it was worth the time, 15 months, and actually took us 18 months in total, because 3 months we were under contract waiting to close with COVID, to make this 235 to 285. Again, the rental could have been 250. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Now, also, this is how I think. My logic is if you're working at a job or you're having a business, and I have like 5 businesses. I have an accounting firm, I have an insurance agency, I have a mortgage company, we do loans, we do taxes, bookkeeping, and payroll for real estate investors and high net worth individuals. We're really busy. We own a large real estate portfolio, we do property management in-house, we do the construction in-house. We're really, really busy. So I don't like doing, you might see some guys out there, they'll do $25,000 flips. Like they'll do it and they make 25 grand, which is really good for them if that's their business and they're gonna go do 10 of them. That's cool, that's good for you, right? Or some people do 100 a year and they make 10 grand a piece. That's awesome, that's good for you. My model, what's good for me, is I like doing one that can make me as much as what a person would make all year doing this. Or I'll do 2. That's really my focus, is that making larger money with less energy. I want the return on time. That's my number one investment key that I look for in investing. So that's how I made roughly $285,000 in a historic house. A lot of videos are going to be coming on YouTube, so definitely check it out and you can see more details of what I did and why I did it. So Hannah, feel free to let me know if there's any questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. And also, if you have numbers, you want me to run numbers for you guys, happy to do that as well.
First question. Investing in mortgage notes, investing in mortgage notes, buying performing notes to diversify my portfolio. Is it a good idea?
So it's really depending on what your investment philosophy is and style. Okay, so whoever doesn't know, investing in mortgage notes, you are
and guys, this will be loaded right after this live. We always post the full live right after. So if you missed all the math calculations to the most recent deal he closed, it'll be up.
What the hell? Oh, so you have the house, right? Snazzy house, love it, favorite house. But this house, it's a mortgage note. So this house is a house, whatever you guys know what a house is. So when you can buy the house and you can rent the house and you can make rental income. Another way for you to make money is there is homeowner or different real estate owners, when they sell the property, they do owner financing. So a lot of guys, when they first start, they're like, hey, how do I find owner financing deals? This way I can make a deal with the owner, not have to go to the bank. That's an option. Sometimes owner financing is great. You can make a lot of money. Sometimes it's not a good deal on the loan they're giving you. But again, big picture here, right? You could get an owner financing deal and so on. And say, John got the deal. John got the house, he owns the house. Well, Bob owns the note. Bob owns this note. And Bob doesn't want the note anymore. And this loan is 6% interest on this property. And this property is worth $100,000. But this loan is for $70,000. Okay? Bob wants his money now. Bob is tired of doing the owner financing. He's older. He needs the money now. For whatever reason, he needs the money now. And don't think if someone's selling a note, there's something wrong. It's not that way. It's just they need the money. And notes aren't extremely marketable, right? It's not like selling a house, which is very, it's an illiquid asset. Selling real estate is not liquid, not like the stock market. You can instantaneously get your money. Selling real estate, it could usually take 30 days in this current market. And in slow markets, it could take 9 months. Now, with selling a note, it takes time because there's not that many people who buy it. But what's nice is you always get this payment. So let's just say the payment is $500 a month. You're gonna always get this $500 a month because the person's gonna fix the roof, fix the toilet, fix everything because they own it. But you're getting $500 a month consistently in this example. Now Bob wants his money. What you can do is when Bob sells it, normally they're selling these notes for 10% or maybe even more of a discount. So it's a $70,000 note on a $100,000 property, but you can actually buy it. You'll buy that note for maybe $63,000. But its face value is 70. And it's good because now you're making $500 a month on a lower amount of cash you put in there. So your cash flow is really good. So the cash flow is really good in this situation. The other benefit is if, let's just say, I don't know, call him Tim. Tim decides to pay off this mortgage. When Tim pays off this mortgage, he's gonna have to pay off this, the new buyer, Jim. So the guy who bought the note, Jim, bought the note from Bob. This $70,000 note he paid for $63,000. He's making $500 payments, and then Tim decides to refinance the house. Whatever, he's going to do a refi. When Tim does that, he has to pay off Jim. But what does he pay him off? Does he pay him off the $63,000 mark or the $70,000? And let's just say an interest-only loan. In this example, as an interest-only loan, he would have to pay Jim $70,000. So not only did he make this money for his interest, when he sells, he made $7,000 profit on the note as well. So the returns can be good with not very much involvement, right? There is a scenario where we can have non-performing notes or the note can become non-performing, which means the person stops paying and you have to try to work out a modification to get them to start paying or go through an eviction process. So the question then is, should I buy it? Well, do you like this structure? Because I can't decide if you're gonna like it, if this is gonna match the lifestyle you want. Because remember, money is money, and you can make money lots of ways, but you should really think about what lifestyle do I want? What am I looking for? Do I wanna fix toilets? Or do I wanna hear about a toilet getting fixed and have to approve my property manager to find someone and pay $300 to fix it? Or do I just wanna check and not hear about nothing? So this is a great option. But at the same time, if you're going to invest $63,000 in this example, you can possibly put down $63,000 on a $300,000 building that is maybe a triplex, right? Because if this home is $100,000, then a triplex is probably going to be roughly $300,000. So, or less, because it's probably less. It's probably going to be a fourplex. So now you got 4 people paying your rent. So it's a little bit more conservative if you look at it fully. So it really depends what you're looking to do. And you can only afford one note. That means if one person stops paying, you're in a tough situation. That's why I say a duplex, triplex, or fourplex should be your first deal. Because now you have 4 people paying your rent. And if one stops paying, you still have money coming in. So depends on your investment philosophy. Lastly, if you're looking at these type of numbers, I would say it's better to invest with our syndication, because with our syndication, you're getting your money diversified over multiple properties, because we buy, in this example, the last one we did for a $3 million raise. We're buying 6 multi-units, doing the BRRRR strategy, and then within probably about 3 years, 2 to 3 years, we're buying another 6 with that money as well from the cash out refi. So within 4 years, you'll have 12 multi-units that you have your money spread across, earning better returns than this, and have upside potential, because this really doesn't have upside potential. The only one you can really make is by buying this note cheaper. And today, notes are very competitive. So getting significant discount on a note is harder and harder for a good quality note, right? It's like a car. You can buy a used note and overpay, just like a car. You can overpay. There's a resale market for that. So hope that answers your question.
Awesome. Next question. Oh, Jerry said, This just went over my head, but I'm taking notes to learn and get better.
So Jerry, when I first heard this, it went over my head too. Do not think that you're going to get it round one. I had to look at things 3-4 times, again and again and again, and I'll be like, wait, this is literally what I said to myself. I said, okay, that guy's smart, and that guy's super excited about this thing. Now I know it's cool, but I don't get why he's that excited. So I don't get it. Keep looking at it again and again, run it again, keep running it until finally I was like, okay, I kind of get it, but I really just, that wow, that click, the aha didn't hit me. Then I had to I was like, okay, if all these really smart rich people are doing this, I should do it too. I'm going to do it and I'll figure it out later. What's that wow? Then I did it and then I realized, oh wow, now I get it. Now I understand what's so amazing about owning multi-units. What's amazing partnering in a real estate syndication. What is the awesome part of this? You're not always going to get it. You just, if you do enough research, you're going to understand, okay, it's good. But the getting it doesn't always happen until you do it or you put your money into it. Then you start realizing. Because a lot of people will say, oh, crypto is better than real estate. I own crypto and I own real estate. But a lot of the guys who have a lot of money in crypto all say, I want to pull some out and put it into real estate. Because they still want something tangible that they can have that has a cash flow, that's existent in the physical world, and they have something in the digital world. So it's until you do it, until it happens to you, are you really going to get it. Now I get it.
Okay. Next question. What is the minimum investment in your syndication?
For the crypto mining syndication, it's $50,000. For the real estate end, it's $100,000. Average investor does about $300,000 in the real estate business.
I'm sorry, it got cut off a little bit. Can you repeat that?
Okay. For the crypto mining, it's $50,000. For the real estate, it's $100,000. And the average investor usually puts in around $300,000. One of my larger investors put in $600,000 or $1 million. It depends on the person's need. Sometimes people put in $100,000 in real estate, $100,000 into the carbon fund, and $100,000 into the crypto. Because each one resolves a different tax problem, and each one gives you a different type of flow of money to give you a different type of cash flow and investment. So it helps in multiple ways. So that's how it depends what's best for the person. We can review that, and we sit down, we have a review, we figure out which investment is going to work with the person's tax situation to come up with a successful tax and investment strategy, because they both work together. An after-tax return is what we're looking for, a high after-tax return.
Next question. Jerry asks, can we ask other questions once this topic is covered after everyone asks their questions related?
Yes,
Jerry,
yes,
we got you. Feel free to ask whatever you want. I mean, feel free to ask almost whatever you want. Let's see.
You cannot have my baby's
placenta.
No.
Someone asked, I just closed on an FHA loan. I need to do a refi on another property. How long do I need to wait?
You don't have to wait. You can call my company. We do refinances and purchases. You can do it immediately. Now again, there's different type of loans, right? Each loan is like a tool. You use different tools for different reasons. So we're more than happy to help you. DM me and we'll work on that for you.
Awesome. Next question. What to focus on as a 17-year-old to succeed?
So when I started studying the real estate business, when I started studying Pokemon cards, was like at the same time. When I was studying the stock market, because I was investing in the stock market. I mean, I invested like you guys. I was looking at everything just because I was fascinated by everything. To make money, you have to understand what you're investing in. You have to team up with the right people that actually know and have been successful. So why? It leads to one thing. You have to know your market. If it's real estate, you better know the neighborhood you're going to buy in. You have to understand what they buy and sell for in good condition and bad condition. You have to understand what it's going to cost to fix it. And then you're going to have to figure out, is there enough profit margin there? When you're doing the same thing when you're buying a stock. I'm buying a stock today. It's worth $100 a share. Do I feel the company's worth more than that based off of my research? Do I understand that company? Do I understand their market? Do I think that Tesla is better than all the other companies and I have faith it's going to go up even though everyone else thinks I'm crazy? Did I study enough? Not just hear somebody on TikTok
or YouTube
and be like, oh, they know, right? Do they actually do it? And it's funny because a lot of people who are online didn't do it. They just say they do it, they talk about it, they show you one time they made money and then 99 times they lost money. How do I know? They actually contact me and I review their taxes and I saw they lost money, but they're telling everyone how rich they are and how blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So the point is, study it because then you're going to know what's right and wrong and you're going to be able to make a proper decision. If you don't have the time to do that, eventually when you have money, you can invest with people that are successful. So study your market and just keep studying it and figure out what you like because you're going to be okay with putting hundreds of hours in studying. I love real estate. I put in hundreds of hours into the understanding my market and knowing what's a good deal. So when a good deal hits, I'm telling you, when a good deal hits, it takes me like 30 seconds to know it's a good deal. I'm penciling out the numbers within 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm calling within 10 minutes of it hitting the market, saying I'm going to buy it. How did I get the historic house? I bought it before 10 minutes. I put it on Instagram. I think if you look at my stories, you'll see it. Under 10 minutes, I called and I said, I'm going to buy it. Under 10 minutes, right? I didn't have to see that it's 3,200 square foot house with a 600 square foot attic selling at $289,000 in this area. I didn't have to run crazy numbers. I knew I was like, if I even had to put in 150,000, I'm still gonna make money. Which, back then 150,000 was gonna do a lot. Now, like 250,000.
Jerry wants to go live.
All right.
And while we wait for her to go live, let's just answer one more question. Oh, she's already here. Hey, or he. Sorry. Sorry, Jerry.
Thank you for having me live. Sorry, I don't mean to deviate from the topic. I must have not gotten the memo I just kind of went over my head, but I was definitely taking some notes here, just trying to follow along.
That's dope.
And trying to just kind of understand it. I have taken your course, helped out a lot. I just got a lot going on, but I do plan on implementing a lot of what you have been teaching. So
one thing again, the sooner you implement taxes, you have a solid tax return, makes your life so much easier. But it takes you 2 tax returns for you really to get the power out of it. So if you wait to implement it, it could take 2 years to get the benefit from that. So guys, this is a lifestyle you're picking, right? When we're talking about dieting and exercising, it's a lifestyle. Investing, financial freedom, that's a lifestyle, right? You got to be smart like that. So you got to think, sooner you start, the better, because it's going to take time for you to get the benefit. But when you get that benefit really is strong and lasts a long time. And that's taxes, savings, investing, and so on. All those things. Sooner you start, the sooner you'll benefit. But go ahead with your question.
Thank you. No, and maybe that ties into my question. But my question is this. So I am, as I said, I've taken your course. I am looking to implement this. I just have a few things that are in front of me that requires my attention. But anyway, so I am looking to buy a truck, and I don't know if this is within your scope of of practice, I guess. But I know that you're a numbers guy, finances. So I recently got into an accident, which has forced me to kind of purchase a truck, right? So I'm gonna run some numbers by you and see if it makes sense to either do this, delay gratification, or
So let's
maybe.
start here. 99% of the time is delay gratification. 99.9% of the time, before we go into the numbers, I love numbers. 99.9% of the time is delay gratification. Because when you delay gratification, the gratification you will get isn't the same. It's not like you delay gratification on spending on a car. Like I could have gotten like a 3 Series BMW when I was younger, but I didn't care. I wanted a GTR. So I delayed gratification, not for the same thing 10 years later, but for this way better 10 years later. So 99% of the time is delayed gratification. But go ahead with the numbers, because
Unless it's for his work.
I'll run it. Unless that pays you, there's a difference. There's a difference between I have to have it and I want to have it, right? People mix it. But I need this. Do you really need it? I gotta buy lunch outside. No, you don't really have to, right? Again, I eat out like every day now. And my bill is fat. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I spend a lot of money every day at lunch, right? The younger me would have thought I was retarded. But I have the money.
Yeah.
The younger me ate out once a week and spent under $10. I paid my dues. I don't have to do that anymore. There's a time, let me say this, I know this kind of deviating, sidestepping. There's a time to hustle. Hustle isn't necessarily a lifestyle. Hustle can be a season. But if you hustle hard, you put in that work hard, that season of 5 years or 10 years could take care of you for the rest of your life. If you hustle hard as, say, an athlete, and you pull in $10 million and then you get hurt, if you were smart and you saved that $10 million and invested it, that $10 million will keep you going for the rest of your life. And that $10 million, you could flip it to $100 million if you invest properly. Or you can ruin that season and blow all that money and not have anything. But hustle is a season. And if you plan your season properly, that season doesn't have to last that long. And then you can have the benefit of coasting, of putting on kind of an autopilot, to put other people in place, giving other people the opportunity to hustle, to earn their spot. Like, this is what I'm doing right now. Right now, people are like, I want this. I said, okay, can you do this, or this? No. Then I'm like, all right, then I can't really help you. Because if you can't hustle and you don't have money and you don't have time, then I'm like, I don't know what you have. Because you're either going to give up money, experience, or time. Which is, you can work hard with your time, you can pay off later. So the point is this, though. Today, I'm giving you opportunities to be like, all right, now it's my season to coast, to manage, to mentor, to run. I run 6 companies, and I'm in an inner circle mentoring group that I advise them. So now I'm giving my expertise to people from all that hustle that I built up in these different sectors, and giving someone else an opportunity to hustle, put in their time to get their chance. And it's a season. If it's done properly, if you live your life smart, it can be a season, and that season can pay you off for the rest of your life. So go ahead with your truck question.
Yes, no, thank you for that, because that's a lot of insight, and that's a lot of experience and wisdom there. So thank you. So the question is this: because my vehicle is totaled, I need another vehicle. Now, like you mentioned, I believe I need a truck for the following reasons, but you may rebuke that maybe. But the reason being is because I'm a firefighter right now, and the numbers, I guess one of the numbers is this: my gross salary is $36,856. I don't know if that's something that you need or not, but that may be sensitive information. However, I guess the
It's
most
not
accurate.
sensitive information. Like people,
Okay.
you're not gonna give me your social.
Yeah.
So it's not how much you make is not sensitive.
No.
How much money you have in the bank is not sensitive. I mean, like unless you live next to the Mexican border and they're gonna come to your house but otherwise don't worry. Just give me remember, you're on Susie Orman's show. Hi, I'm Susie Orman. Give me all of your money, tell me all of your numbers, and I'll give you the answer. So you're making 360. If you want to be super conservative, I have a rule. 360,
That's
36,000.
okay.
36,000 times 5, right? And you divide by 2. So you take the last 5 years average income. So if it's 36 even, it's an easy number, $18,000. But if you have 24, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, then you average the last the 5 years. And then you'll have 50% of that number, whatever this number is, 50% of it is how much the car can be worth. And then you can get a 5-year loan on that. And this should be the most you pay for this. Okay? If you want to look at it another way, look at how much money you made the last 10 years. You get the average. Your car cannot be worth more than your one out of 10 years salary. That's what I'm saying is fair. Not really even conservative, fair. If you can roll with like I did, if you can roll with a $6,000 Camry and keep it moving and go through 5 car accidents, because people love to freaking hit my car, but I got that shit fixed. And I didn't even paint it. I just had it primed so it wouldn't rust. And it looked like Spot the Dog, man. It was like all over different colors, but you kept it moving, right? Because every dollar I kept was another property I could buy. And that's another cash flow. And I wasn't looking for anything crazy. I was looking to make maybe $100 a month from each door. Well, by the time I was 23, I was bringing in $2,300 a month clean, not counting my job, Back then, I was only making like $11 an hour at the bank, so I was making $23,000. So technically, according to those rules, I was wealthy and I could retire because I had enough money from my passive income that made equal to what my job paid, so I didn't have to work. I still worked, obviously, but the point is, this is the number. So if the truck is worth more than this, you are subsidizing your future for today. Let me repeat that. You are giving up the future good for today's happiness. If you didn't know you're doing that, tomorrow you will suffer for today. Tomorrow you're going to work your ass off for today. Tomorrow you're going to have 2 kids and a wife, and you're still going to pay for that car that you really didn't need today when you should have been saving money to invest yesterday for tomorrow. So you can either pay for it later or you pay for it today. You got 2 options. You don't got any other option. So if you choose to do more than this, then tomorrow you're going to pay for it. And you're like, man, the world's against me. No, your decisions are against you. Right? But if you pay less than this, now I'm not telling you get a car that's going to break down every 5 minutes. That's not what I'm saying. But if you get a car less than this, then you're using the extra money to invest or get yourself in a better position. Tomorrow you're going to benefit, right? So that is simple with that. Now, again, you're making $36,000 a year. You want to get a truck. Go ahead with your question with the truck. Why do you need a truck specifically? Do you need it for work? Not, I could do this. No, I don't know what you could do. I want to know what you are doing or you were going to do, not I could. Like could means I'm never going to happen and I just want this bad and I'm trying to justify it.
Thank you. Can we backpedal a little bit? I can't really see. It's 36,000 times 50?
So 36,000 times 5 years times 50%.
5 years times 50%?
Yeah, so technically it's not 5 years. It's not technically 36,000. It's your last 5 years of income.
Now,
so whatever you made for the last 5 years, added together. But if you've always made 36,000, then you can just take 36,000 times 5 and then divide by 50%. So the reality is it's 50% of what you make a year. The car cannot be worth more than that. Why do I say that? It's because your loan payment is going to be too high based off of your income of $36,000. So if you have, let's just say $36,000 is your income, and let's just say you always made $36,000, the loan or the car payment, the car value, the car can't be more than $18,000. Because an $18,000 car on 60-month payment is going to be too high for you to afford. So let's just say I think it's $300 a month, and that's with no interest, right? Then you add on interest on top of it. But let's just make believe you got a no interest rate loan, 0.9%, so it's like super low. You're making $3,000 a month, okay? Now after tax, you have payroll tax, there's Social Security, you have Medicare, you have income tax. So you right there, you're gonna be about 20% gone. So you're looking at like $2,400 after tax.
Sorry. Well, that's the 36 is gross. Sorry,
Net.
I'm sorry
Net.
about it.
So that's after taxes and after your Social Security, after your health insurance, after your 401k, after everything.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
that means, so again, the last 5 years, gross.
Okay.
We always talk about gross numbers unless we specify net numbers. So last 5 year income of your gross number. So that means if you're after health insurance and everything else, you're probably bringing in between 42 to 48,000 gross.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so if it's 42,000, then your car can be 21,000. But you can see why, you can understand the math. If you're bringing $3,000 a month pre-tax and $2,400 a month post-tax, and that's without health insurance, and you have a $300 car payment, you're down to $2,100. Well, how much is your rent? How much is your electric? How much is your food? You're barely left with anything. So if you can ride around, ride dirty on a $6,000 car, then you're saving $300 a month, and now you got $3,600 at the end of the year. Well, 2 years of that, you got $7,000. That's enough for a $200,000 house. Your 3.5% down payment FHA loan. So now you get the appreciation. We're going through hyperinflation, guys. We're going through 25% increase in home prices. So you got a $200,000 spot. That's $50,000 in appreciation in home value on a $7,000 down payment. So your return on investment is crazy. Who wins through inflation? Only people with assets. So your goal is to buy assets that cash flow, and you're going to win. If you don't, you're going to lose. You can always make up excuses, right? Like we can always make up excuses to say why we can't do something. Okay, fine. We'll make ourselves feel good. But the reality is this: we're not going to benefit at all. Now, I started with like everybody else, with nothing. But I realized, I said, I don't care. I will sacrifice today so I can get that tomorrow. I had a lot of faith that I'm like, all right, I can do this. So if you need to change your mind and believe, I can do this. And once you believe that, you're willing to sacrifice today for tomorrow. A lot of times people don't do it because they don't have enough faith in themselves or being able to do something. So they're not willing to sacrifice today. But anyway, so now that we have this information, continue with your question.
Yeah, thank you for dropping those numbers. So, and then the reason why I need a truck is because, so I have this firefighting gig, which is full-time, right, career, and I'm looking, I am starting to get very close to get licensed as a fire investigator. One of my sergeants is kind of coaching me through that, and that'll be kind of a part-time deal, maybe 30 hours a week, $50 an hour, right? So he says that having a truck will allow me to have certain equipment, maybe a ladder to carry in the back or other things that I may need. So that's the reason why I'm looking to purchase a truck. I'm also living on my own in Michigan with no family members around, and I've kind of been I've been caught in a pinch times where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a truck, or I need to move something, you know. So it's kind of in a way to be self-sufficient and also for work. So that's kind of, I guess, my justification in terms of needing a truck, you know.
So needing a truck for the potential future. Okay, so in that sense, I'm gonna say this: how far are you away from getting your license?
I would say in January. I would say basically I just need to study for a major test. Once I pass that, I'm already about to shadow a few of the fire investigators and things like that. So I'm already very close to that point. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say is this: obviously, the price point's gonna matter. How much is a car gonna cost? How much is a truck gonna cost?
What was your question? I'm sorry.
If you were gonna buy a car, how much are you gonna spend on a car? If you're gonna buy a truck, how much are you gonna spend on a truck?
So I have thought about that. I've actually been thinking maybe I'll just buy like a little beater car, just get something that'll get me from point A to point B, and maybe wait until I would maybe do more research on the truck and run numbers and kind of do that. So first, I could maybe, if I do buy a used car, I honestly, I haven't looked at that, but I have been thinking maybe I could just buy a little $1,500 car.
In that sense, it's not worth it because usually the $1,500 cars break down. So you're gonna spend so much of your time, which is very rare, to fix it and maybe fix it yourself and do it yourself. It's not worth it. You want to scale bigger and larger so you could do more and pay people to do stuff. You guys want to grow fast and pay people to do things so you can focus on making $50 an hour through your business that you're looking to start. So I would say if you're going to buy a beater car, you're going to buy like a $6,000 car, like a $6,000 Corolla or Camry or Accord or Civic, where it's going to last. Maintenance is easy. You could put 300,000 miles on it and fine. Now, again, if you're going to buy a truck as well, you do not want really two vehicles. It is better to have one vehicle.
I'm only looking to buy one.
Yeah. So then, then it is a good idea if is it an option to buy a $6,000 vehicle that's in good quality condition that you can then trade in for a truck later, or you can buy the truck now, but you have to give up something else in your lifestyle. It doesn't, even if you had money to afford it, there's a thing about making yourself wait to get something and to reward yourself. You have to reward yourself and make yourself earn something as an adult. If you do that, self-control on your own by doing that, you will accomplish more. So if you say, okay, I chose to buy a truck now, instead of buying a whatever car, I chose to buy a $18,000, $21,000 truck. But because of that, I'm giving up my Netflix and my Spotify premium account. I'm giving up all these other things to make up for the difference in the monthly payment. So it costs me $300 more a month. I'm giving up all this other stuff that's $300 more a month. I'm not going to go out drinking. I'm not going to go to the movie. I'm not going to do something that equals out for that payment until I get my license. Until I get my license and I'm making that $1,500 a week extra that I'm supposed to be making. Then I can start adding. I can reward myself for something.
Sorry. So basically, what you're saying is you kind of want to even out. So let's say your truck payment's $250 a month, let's just say, and you kind of want to find something in your budget to kind of cancel that out in a sense. Is kind of what you're saying.
And
maybe?
Something that you like. Now, I'm not saying cancel something that you like, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying cancel your gym membership, right? That's something that's good for you. But something that you like, hey, I love watching Netflix at night. I love watching whatever this thing is that you enjoy. I love going to Starbucks. I love going to this restaurant every weekend or something. You're going to sacrifice something you enjoy to make up for the difference in the money for the truck And that's gonna make you drive to say, I'm gonna push myself to get this license, get this business up and running, because what if it takes you 3 months till June to get licensed, January to get licensed. Then it takes you 3 months to get enough business to actually make money. So it's 6 months. And some people will just give up. Their hustle, their desire goes away. But when they have something to strive for, not only am I gonna make money, I'm gonna get back all those things I enjoy doing, I'm gonna get better. So it gives you an extra drive and push. And what ends up happening is the things that you gave up, the food, the drinks, the extra memberships that you didn't need for whatever HBO Max that you really didn't need, but it was actually taking a lot of your time from studying and expanding your business and your mind. You realize when after 6 months, when you've grown so much as an individual, you don't even want it back anymore. Now you're like, man, that stuff was wasting my time. It was wasting my money. I can't believe I blew all that money. You know what? I've grown so much in this last 6 months. You know what? Let me keep doing this. Let me see where I can go. And where you thought you were gonna go, you end up going 5-10 times further, right? You're not making $1,500 in a month. You decide, you know what? I'm gonna work 60 hours. I'm gonna make $3,000 a week. I'm making $150,000 this year. Now you're out buying a whole bunch of rental properties.
Right.
That hustle, that 5-10 years sets you up for the rest of your life. Your mind will change. You'll change.
No, thank you for that. Yeah, I actually have been budgeting, and I am keeping track of my expenses this month. So I'm glad that you say that, because now I can focus and highlight on things to eliminate in order to, I guess, even out or balance out the expenditure on the truck. So thank you for that. Thank you. I do have a follow-up question or another question in regards to crypto coin, and in respects to I guess my situation that I got going. So I have a friend. Well, unless you have anything more for me in terms of the truck or anything like that, or any other questions that you have for me.
I gave you enough. I ran some numbers, but I gave you logic. Because logic is what you need to make multiple decisions going forward. But yeah, this is going to be the last question with the whole crypto question, because I got a lot of other people that want to ask questions, and I want to be fair with everybody. So go ahead with your crypto question.
Yeah, last question. So, and I'll make it concise. So, a friend of mine's like, "Hey, man, you got to jump on this Shiba Inu." And I believe you've been mentioning it as well. And right now, I kind of have just a lot going on, but I want to be able to kind of just invest something, get locked in, and then once kind of like the dust settles, I can kind of look into it more, read into it more. But I hear it's a great investment right now at this point. And the way it was said to me was, just invest something that you're willing to lose, I guess. And right now with everything, I'm like, well, maybe $250 would be good. But I know in the past you've mentioned, but this was more of a general statement that perhaps $1,000 is good to start in order for it to be an effective investment, But just wanted to pick your brain on that. If you have any other insights as far as that goes.
Good question. I think a lot of people are going to benefit from this question. One, there's a big difference between investing and speculating. Investing requires research, analysis, and some facts and data. Speculating is I'm gambling. I have over 300 grand in crypto, different coins. I only put in $3,000 into Shiba, 1% of my portfolio. Because why? It's a gamble. I bought it 6 months ago and it fell to like $600. So, right? It's not Bitcoin, right? This is not something that's like has some history, has major players. It's not a blue chip item. It's not an investment. We're gambling. I just sold now. I got lucky because this is a gamble. It went up. People are all about this meme coin. It's called a meme coin for a reason. It's a meme, right? It's not real. And it went to almost 9,000, right? So I sold my initial investment, so I'm free rolling now. I got $6,000 left in it. I'm free rolling. Whatever happens, I got nothing left in it of my initial investment. So I took $3,000 and I put it into Cat Girl. Cat Girl is nothing. It's another meme coin. It only has like 51,000 people investing in it. It can go to zero. It could pop off. And it did pop off already. So like I bought after it went up like 1,000, 2,000%. But I'm like, whatever. This is my gambling money. This is not my investing money that I'm going to be hoping for my future is not in this Cat Girl or Shiba or Doge. This is not my future money. This is, whatever, I'm having fun. The stuff I'm counting on, my future, right? That is not the same thing. That's investing. It's a kind of, investing is, what money am I going to put away in case my mom gets sick, in case I got married and my kids need money, my kid is sick, like that. Think, what am I going to do with that money? Where would I put that money? And if you think, okay, I would put it in, Bitcoin, because it's safer, but it has some growth. Okay, that's called an investment. That's more likely an investment. But if you're like, don't call a shot in the dark investing, right? This one guy worked for me and he's like, my 2017 Camaro is an investment. I said, I want to fire you if you say that again, because it is not an investment. It's an asset. And it's a depreciating asset. It's not an investment. You didn't buy a 67 Camaro, okay? You bought a 2017 Camaro. It's not an investment. So anyway, so I would say even if that coin went to $3,000, it's not, I think you have so many things you're working on and focusing on. You're going to check that shit all the time. And it's going to waste your time. Where you should be reading, you're looking at what the price is. Looking at the price is not going to make it go up, right? So do not take distractions. There's always going to be some type of distraction out there. The news is always trying to distract you. Don't. Do you. Focus on what you have to do to make your life significant. And I would not waste $250 in that when it can distract you from what you're trying to do.
So you're saying hold off on investing in crypto altogether? Or
hold off on investing in anything that's going to take your focus away and that is speculative. You don't have speculative money yet, right? You want to have the room for speculation. It doesn't seem like you have that yet, right? Again.
No. Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, that's what I'm trying to say, right? So the point is, you want to buy this truck. You're going to speculate. I would say, okay, take that $250 and put it towards that truck. Mm-hmm. So some people will say, oh, what's $250? The same person is going to say, what's $250 like 100 times. And I'm not joking. I'm just being serious. They say it like 100 times. Like, okay, here's another fact, right? I'm big into statistical fact. If you get a dollar raise, that's $2,000 a year, $22,000, $40 a year in a raise. That person statistically will imagine they have $2,000 more when they imagine they're going out, when they're thinking about going out to eat. They think about, oh, I got $2,000 more with their clothes, with their car, with their house, with their vacation. At the end of the year, that person is more poor with that $2,040 raise, the dollar per hour raise, because they think they're richer, they blew more money. In reality, they're actually more in debt. And everyone thinks, I gotta make more money. The answer is wrong. You don't have to make more money to get wealthy. Yes, there is a certain level of money you should have, but most people, unfortunately, spend more money the second they make more money. And that's not how you become wealthy. Wealthy is the gap between what you make and what you spend, and how you can reallocate that to ways of making money without you doing anything. That is wealth. So that when I was 23 years old, and I had 23 units. I was bringing in like $2,500 a month passive. I was wealthy because I didn't have to do anything. It was taking care of itself. So let's not confuse. Oh, it's only 250. Oh, you're still wasting money. You're still wasting time. So once that kind of grasps, because again, when my dad used to say that to me, I'd be like, you're so annoying. But when it grasps, when it hits you, you're like, you know what, that's right. And you're making changes in your life.
Can I piggyback on that question?
Yeah.
So if the current state of inflation is going down and maybe you make an extra $250, instead of putting it in a savings account, would you say investing it in Bitcoin and just that $250 you keep adding every month if you have it in savings instead of putting it in dollar amount? Let's say you already have like a certain amount in savings for emergencies. Then you have like an extra $250, knowing that hyperinflation is happening in the currency.
So
right.
To
reiterate
your question, since hyperinflation is happening, would it be smart to buy Bitcoin and hold that in a wallet that's paying good interest compared to keeping cash at home or keeping cash in the bank and earning very little interest? The answer is yes, it is a good idea to keep it into something that is conservative. I'd rather have you in Bitcoin than into Shiba. Yes, you have the risk or the possibility that Shiba could pop off crazy, but at the same time, you can have the possibility that it falls to nothing. So where Bitcoin has less volatility compared to Shiba. You also have the option of putting your money into like USDC, where it's a stable coin, but you're gonna get 12% interest. So if you stake it, so that's an option too. Yes, it's better than leaving it in a savings account and doing nothing with it. But remember, when you're doing these transactions, as I mentioned, every time you buy, especially if you use like Coinbase, you're paying like $4 a transaction. So if you're putting in $100 at a time, they could be charging you $4 for the purchase. So that means it would take at a 12% interest rate, annualized APY, it would take you 4 to 5 months to recoup your fee for buying, and then you're going to pay another $4 when you sold. So if you hold it for a year, you only make 2% interest out of the 12. If you got 12, which Coinbase doesn't offer 12, you have to go to like a Nexio or a different wallet that offers the higher interest rates for stable coins. So, but the point is, yeah, keep those. And what you're mentioning is when I said in the past, hey, you need to spend more than $100 when you're buying these cryptos, probably more like 1,000 at a time, because the fee is usually like a minimum of $2 or $4. If you bought $100 or you bought $1,000, it's still about $4. So it's better you just spread it over 1,000, because then you're not paying 4%, to buy in. You're paying 0.4%.
And the goal is to hold.
And the goal is to hold, because you make your money in the hold. Now, again, there's people that are like, oh, day trade. 99% of those guys do not make money. And I'm telling you guys, I review their tax returns. They hit me up. They're like, okay, you know a lot about taxes. Look at my thing, see how you can help me. I'm telling you, 99% do not make money. Is there some people who can make money? Yes. But keep in mind, not everything you see online is the truth. Brother, great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for following me. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for taking the course as well. Check out the YouTube, subscribe there. There's a lot more great content going to come. And hope you have a blessed night.
Thank you for your time and congratulations on your new board.
Thank you.
All right.
So any other questions?
Yeah, let me do a speed round.
Is it like 3 a.m.?
It's 11:46.
Yeah.
Since we were late, we'll do speed question, okay?
Mhm.
On all of these, and then we're done. Okay, and here, someone said, on topic of trucks, if buying used and paying off, what percentage is tax deductible towards taxes?
If you're buying a vehicle, truck, or car, it is all tax deductible against your business because it's being used for business purposes. If you buy a truck, you can, or a piece of equipment, which could be a heavy truck, that would mean it's over 6,000 pounds. I think we made a video on that.
We're going to make a video on that.
We're going to make a video on that. it's on the queue. That is able to be Section 179, means you can write off the full truck all up front, even though you only put down like $1 and you have a loan for 5 years, you can still write it off all in that 1 year. So if you have a big tax year, you can buy a G-Wagon, a G63 AMG for $270,000, get a 5-year loan on it, and bonus depreciate it all in year one when you take possession in December. So if you made $1 million that year, you can buy the G63 and reduce your income by $270,000, which is what people do. So
Next question.
next question.
Okay. What happens to mortgages here in the US denominated in dollars if or when the Fed introduces a digitally backed dollar? Will mortgages be revalued or repaid in digital dollars?
So that is what I'm thinking, and that's why I'm taking a whole lot of debt and buying real estate. One, hyperinflation, right? Property values going up, mortgage payment stays the same. So you get that spread. That's awesome. So when I repay the loan in the future, those dollars are worth less. Part two, I agree with you. There's an opportunity and a possibility that if they recalculate, and okay, this is our third central bank. If they go through a fourth central bank, right, and they go through a digital dollar and they have Fed coin directly to you, there's an opportunity where the conversion rate could be different. It could be the same, but it could be different. Or the dollar could literally disappear and we have a new Amera, where it's America, Canada, and Mexico sharing one digital currency. And then the loans we have were most likely, I believe, in my opinion, going to be worth a lot less than the new currency. It's going to be stronger than the money owed. So it could be either way.
Okay, next question. Does having a Heloc count against you when qualifying for an investment property?
Yes. They didn't ask details. They said yes. And it does.
Yeah.
Any loan you have goes into your DTI. And that's going to go against you by DTI.
Okay. And last question. It says here, how to connect to people that already went through what you want to do.
Find something that you could offer to do for them. That's the best way. I went and found people that had knowledge, right? You really want to know about knowledge, right? If someone gives you a lot of money, most lotto people lose all of their money. Like 99% lose all their money by year 5. So you want to first find what they need, help them do it, because you don't have money, right? So you have to make up for it. People that have money don't have time. People that have time usually don't have money. So give up your time, help them, do something for them for free or at an extremely reduced cost, that you have a skill that you can offer to them. And that way you can trade your skill for knowledge if you don't have it. Guys, thank you for being so patient with me. It was really great seeing you guys again. We'll be back in 2 weeks on the live answering your questions. So bring your questions. Lots of great content on YouTube, bringing out a lot of new videos, trying to drill down and get you the information you're looking for. Definitely subscribe there. Tell your friends to subscribe there. Lots of great content to you coming to IG as well. So we're working on a lot of good stuff coming. DM me if you need help with taxes, insurance, mortgages, or you're looking to invest in real estate or tax credits. So see you guys next time.
Okay, we're done.